Damn these Biloxi blues, it happens every night. And I ain't never met a riverboat dealer that could ever be a friend of mine.
I have not.
The summer heat never treats me kind, it leaves trouble on my mind. So I'm bidding farewell, putting in my notice.
Singing right here, singing right here.
This highway does not know my name, and I don't care. No, I
don't care.
Heading my way for another place, and I got 3 good tires and a spare.
Just a what?
White line gypsy getting out of Mississippi with just enough gas to get there.
Low budget live, not so live from the Low Budget Live Bar and Bunker. And if you notice off to the side, I don't know how well you can see it right now from that camera, but off to the side, we have a tripod set up with my phone on it, and we're going to try a little Skype tonight. Low Budget Live for April 13th, Monday. This is the day after Easter. I'm actually recording this on the night of Easter. It's storming. I'm sure y'all can hear that rain. Hear that rain on that tin roof. Sounds so good, really, honestly. I hear it. I hear it in my headphones. Got it right there in the headphones. Low Budget Live from the Low Budget Live Bar and Bunker with the tin roof. And I hope all of you had a wonderful Easter Sunday with your family that you can get to, hopefully. I hope you all have had a wonderful week, and I hope you are all staying safe and sane. I think saying sane is very important right now because, man, I'm borderline. I'm about to lose it. This is craziness, y'all, and I know y'all are going through it, man, and some of y'all are probably going through a lot harder times than I am, for sure. There's so much uncertainty right now, and I hope that all of you are staying employed. I know with the numbers of people that are unfortunately losing their jobs because of this craziness, that there's a very good chance that some of you low-lifers out there are unemployed right now. Man, my heart goes out to you because it's crazy. Every time you turn on the news, it's like I've said a few times, it's like that old John Prine song, blow up your TV. Blow up your TV. I got to start by saying we lost a good one this week, man. And y'all know, if you keep up with me at all, how much I love Mr. John Prine's music. And we lost him to this COVID-19. And it's weird. And y'all comment below, shoot me a message if you're listening to this going down the road on iTunes or Spotify. But comment below if you're watching on YouTube. But is it not strange when a celebrity or a musician or an actor passes away and it feels like family? I've only had a couple of these in my life. It's very strange when it happens. And I never met John Prine. I felt like I knew him though, but I was so sincerely upset when the news came across, and man, people texting me, friends of mine that fellow music playing buddies, and Shannon Wheeler from Dude Let's Fish. Make sure you subscribe to Dude Let's Fish. But my buddy Shannon texted me saying, "Man, Prine died," and I'm like, I just seen it, but the outpouring from the other people in the music community, his peers and people he has inspired. It's amazing. It's an amazing thing to see. And it's like I said when my mom passed away. It's all about that legacy you leave behind. And it's all about what people think on that final day, man. It's about that moment. That's your story. You told that story your entire life. This man beat cancer twice. He beat it twice, and then unfortunately lost his life to this disease, this COVID-19, this just craziness that is affecting so many people right now in the United States. And whether it's actually physically attacking them and it's killing thousands of people, but making several more sick. But the economical effects, just crazy to wrap your head around. But yeah, losing Prine was like, I rang in this New Year's Eve, Marissa and I, triple threat, watching him at the Opry House. He counted down to 2020, John Prine. It was the first time that I'd ever got to see a John Prine show. I'd seen him many times doing guest spots with other people in Nashville. He's just always just like a Nashville fixture, and he popped up so many times. But it was the first full John Prine show that I ever got to see in my entire life. And I go to a lot of concerts, and I just never got to see Mr. Prine. And we came up with some tickets, didn't have the kids on New Year's Eve, and we drove up to Nashville and rang in 2020 with John Prine. It was one of the last shows he ever played. And so crazy. It was he just put so much joy out there, and he's one of those songwriters that can make you cry and make you laugh in the same song. And if you don't know John Prine, please go listen to his music and make sure that it lives on forever. But so crazy to see the outpouring from so many people on social media, and some of my favorite artists that are doing tributes to him. So cool. So rest in peace, Mr. Prine. Thank you for all the great songs. And man, I the coolest thing for me as a dad, because I think that's one of your jobs as a parent, is you get to pass on whatever it is you do, right? Whether that's fit, like my kids like fishing, and I feel like I got a big hand in that. They like the outdoors, I feel like I've got a big hand in that. But they love music, and they love all kinds of music, man. They introduced me to music, and that's so beautiful. That's so awesome. But my 12-year-old Hudson loves John Prine. He loves him. And because John's got some silly songs, he's got some serious songs, but Hudson has a few John Prine songs. And when the news first came across that he was sick, when he'd gone into intensive care, Hudson was with me. And I'm like, oh, man. And we were going to the pond fishing, and we listened to John Prine's Fish and Whistle. And we're going to the pond, and Hudson was smiling. He'd never heard that one. He was smiling in the passenger seat, going up to my dad's pond to fish. And it was so cool watching him love that song. And he was asking me about John every day. Dad, what's the update with John Prine? Dad, what are you hearing about John Prine? It was so cool. And Hudson was not here that night that John passed away. And I texted him. I said, hey, buddy, Mr. Prine has passed away. And he sent back, no, and all these caps with a sad face emoji. And man, that got me. That was too cool, because that's what we're here for, right? That's what we're here for. And to pass on traditions and to pass on things. And man, that was a proud dad moment for me, to see that he was sincerely upset about this guy that was a huge impact in my life musically passing away. So very, very kind of bittersweet moment, of course. But so it's kind of been a crazy week just because of that. All these weeks are crazy. But we got a rainy, old, stormy Easter. I hope y'all are staying safe, man. I'm seeing these tornadoes, especially if you're in the southeast. It's nadir season, as people say. But man, we've been okay today. But I know a little further south down in Mississippi, they've had some bad storms. So I hope none of you have been infected by this craziness of this Easter weather. The weather's been, we've had some beautiful days, 70 and 80 degrees. We had a massive cold front this week, though, and lows in the 30s. Just been all over the map. But tornadoes are unnerving. I don't like tornadoes. But rainy old Easter, and that didn't help any with the, not to be a bummer today, but, it's the first Easter without Mom. So with all this going on, this quarantine, my dad's being really cautious, and I've got to see my dad. I'm actually going to post a video of that this week. My dad and I, we went fishing about 3 weeks ago, probably before this really got crazy, and we got to spend a beautiful day on the water together. Some nice weather, but we've just seen him through the vehicle window. He's taking this serious because he's definitely at risk because of some health he has and health issues, and so he's trying to be really precautious. And so he's at home alone on Easter, and we've been here, and it's just been a kind of a weird day, man. So I'm glad to get to talk to y'all. Glad to get to talk to our guest tonight. We're going to Skype and see how that goes. But yeah, man, it's been a weird day, but the kids have been all smiles, and it's been pretty cool. My dad did something very special. Y'all know my mom, if you've kept up with Low Budget Live for very long at all, you know she was obsessed with butterflies. Mr. Brandon Polnick sent this. You know, I talked about that before, and that stays right here on the Low Budget Live bar. But my dad sent the kids a video tonight, each of the kids, and he had taken, my mom had a butterfly garden and a butterfly house where they raised butterflies. Very cool. And it was something she got into in the last couple of years of her life. And I've talked about that on here some, but she was very in love with butterflies, and my dad helped her, and she was passionate about that. But my dad made these little butterfly ornaments, I guess you would call them. But he made these videos, sent them to the kids, and he ended up bringing them out and dropping them off. But he made them out of flowers, had them made. This place takes them and puts them in glass. Had them made out of flowers in their butterfly house. And, you know, we all got a good cry out of that. But so shout out to Marty D for that. It's pretty special, pretty dang special. But he's, you know, it's been a rough day because he's been sitting at the house by himself, and he's like, no, get away. Face masked up, you know. Whew, crazy times, y'all. Crazy times. You know, a positive in this that I heard, and Low Budget Live, Not So Live, and Low Budget Live, always brought to you by the fine folks at StarTron and Starbright. But I was talking to Danny from StarTron and Starbright this week, and Gregor and those guys, and they told me something very interesting. So they have Starbright, the cleaning side of their business, cleaning product side. They have a product, it's called Permacide, and it's a disinfectant. And, dude, they have had such an overwhelming request because it's like, you know, it's fits that vein of a cleaning product like a Lysol that you can't find. But, man, this stuff is awesome, okay? They had to invest in another machine just because they're pumping so much of this stuff out down in Montgomery, Alabama. Crazy, but a very cool story to hear how they're helping. Starbright is helping in this war against COVID-19. Very, very cool, the folks at Starbright and StarTron. So not only do they bring you the most low budget of all low budget podcasts ever, and they are big supporters of Luke Duncan, and I am just forever grateful for that. They're great people that I love working with and hanging out with, and bringing you this podcast presented by StarTron. But they're you know, they're helping right now. That's so cool to me. You know, companies will be defined. They'll be defined over how they handle this. I've said that before. They'll be defined how they handle their employees, what they do to take care of their employees in this unprecedented time. There'll be companies that their brand identities completely change because of them negatively affecting employees in one way or the other. And there's going to be a lot of tough decisions that have to be made, but that is something I am very proud to represent, a company like Starbright and StarTron that's out there, you know, pushing the boundaries and developing these formulas and things to help us. And, of course, StarTron fighting that ethanol. And a lot of your vehicles are sitting around right now, okay? They're sitting on their butts. You ain't cranking that tractor as much. You ain't cranking that weed eater maybe. Maybe you got them old COVID-19 blues. You better put some StarTron in it so that daggum ethanol don't screw up your old weed eater. Then you have to tell your wife you can't even weed eat. Dang, can't even weed eat. What's next, Corona? Take my weed eating from me? Listen to that rain on that tin roof, boy. Whoo! I could go to sleep right now. So thanks to y'all. Thanks to the folks from StarTron. But shake your StarTron up. I like it. But that was a cool story that I got to hear. A not so cool story in the fishing world. Switching gears on you. Mark Zona reached out last night, and Z and I were talking, texting, and there's craziness going on in this country with our waterways. And I know you folks in South Carolina know this. I believe Indiana, Ohio, we've had closures at boat ramps, waterways. And look, man, there are more people fishing around here than I've ever seen, right? But these governments, these state and local governments that are shutting down bodies of water, it's the safest place you could be right now. In my opinion, it's the safest place you could be. And yeah, you got to get gas sometimes. I personally have been going to a local lake that's really close to the house, and I haven't got gas that many times. But when I have, I've worn gloves, and I don't go in the store. I mean, I'm being super cautious, and I hope everybody else is too that's doing this. But you know, I've taken my brother in the past few weeks. I've taken my dad, but everybody else is quarantined with me in the house, or I go by myself. But Michigan, the most boneheaded thing I've heard in a very long time. The Governor Whitmer, I think that's how you say it, said no motorized anything. No boats with motors. Okay? Keep up, because this is very dumb. Because I had to do a double take when Zona was telling me. No boats with motors are allowed to be on the lakes, but you can take a kayak, electric only, whatever. What the heck does that do, right? But Zona and KVD, Mr. Van Dam, they've gone to the top. They've got Johnny Morris from Bass Pro Shops involved with this, and they want everybody, so you guys are going to hear this on Monday morning, they want everybody to call the governor's office and tell them this is bull crap. This is bull crap. This is bull crap. And that phone number is, and Zona asked me to share this, and I'm going to share this, and because this doesn't need to be a precedent to be set across the country. We're already struggling in this country to keep our sanity, keep our health right now, keep our jobs, keep our families' sanity in check. And the fact that people think this is a good idea, don't take that away. Don't take that away. If people need a break from this craziness a little bit, you know, let them fish. So the phone number for the governor's office in Michigan, I don't care if you listen to this right now, you're like, Luke, I live in Idaho. I don't care. You should care, because this could happen anywhere. California's done this as far as like, you know, closing lakes. But this one's just weird and crazy. If you've got an outboard motor, you can't go fish. Get out of here. Get out of here. So call Governor Whitmer's office Monday morning. The area code is 517. The number is 373-3400. 517-373-3400. 517-373-3400. Call them and say, dude, do you live in your mom's basement? This is the most mom's basement decision ever. But we need to do it in South Carolina. We need people to hear us, man. Fishermen are out there. They're spending money. They're buying tackle. The fishing industry, even though it has slowed dramatically, because I'm in the boating industry through TH Marine, and it's a ghost town for the most part. A lot of these boat factories have had to shut down because of what's going on. But some fishing companies are doing well right now, and people are buying fishing tackle and they're going fishing, man, and they're spending time with their kids. And don't take that away from us. Don't take that away from us. So 517-373-3400. Let them know you think that's bull crap on behalf of Mark Zona, Kevin Van Dam. But Johnny Morris made a nice video about it. The Don of Bass Pro Shops himself. And, yeah, just bull crap. We got to text our guest here. Text him up. Hang on. Getting a text from my kids. Okay. All right, here we go. Dadgummit. All right. So this is different. I tried this one time with Big C. One time with Big C, and it worked pretty good. And I'm going to try it again right now and see if we can get this going right here. So my guest today, it's ringing. Let's see if he comes on here. He's coming? There he is, right there, ladies and gentlemen, the YouTube sensation himself. He's here. D-Money, you're here. Hang on a second. I don't think I got your audio. Hang on. Oh, I got you now. D Money, can you hear us?
I can hear everybody.
Woo, that's loud. Hang on, let me back you out to my headphones, boy. What's up? D Money. This is Darienisfishin right here, ladies and gentlemen, joining us on Skype at the Low Budget Live Bar and Grill. Only I can see you right now because we're not live.
Yeah, it's awkward.
Is it awkward? Dude, I was on a Zoom call for TH the other day. I think I told you this, with one of our marketing groups, good guys, one of our sales rep groups, and we had to do this call like this, and it's just awkward looking at other grown men and doing it and just talking. Like, I do this with my kids when I'm on the road, but it's just like,
a little awkward.
Hey. Hey, so you are quarantining tonight, quarantining in Hayden, Alabama, dodging tornadoes.
Yeah, and it went right below us, but we...
For real?
Yeah, it went really close. It went through Warrior and went like down below Hayden.
Down where Johnny McCombs lives?
Yep.
You think Johnny McCombs karate kicked it and stopped it?
He did.
He probably
it stopped right at Morris.
He probably threw a damn buzzbait at it and just, you ain't coming through here. Pump some iron. For those of y'all that don't know Johnny McCombs, Google him.
Yeah, Google him.
One of the greatest fishermen of all time, for real. And stopped the tornado.
One of the coolest stories of all time.
One of the coolest stories of all time. I need to get Johnny on here sometime to tell his story. I'm going to, hang on. Making a note. You write that down and it'll happen. We're going to get Johnny McCombs on the show. Some of y'all that follow FLW, I'm sure, remember the Johnny McCombs story from a couple years ago. But Johnny is, he's one of a kind. He's our buddy. Yeah. He's our buddy. Yeah. All right, so I feel like I'm recording this. Hang on, let me make sure. Oh, hang on. Dang it, I screwed it up. Now we're going to have video. Now we're recording the video. Okay. Oh. Now it's a lot better. Now I'm going to have video to add to this. Little glitchy. Hey, it's Low Budget Live. Don't at me, okay? Now we're recording. We only got 11. I've got the audio, but then I'll place the video in, and now everybody knows that you're in your mom's basement.
Yeah, I'm in my mom's basement.
Is that your mom's room?
No. Yeah, I'm on my mom's bed recording.
Corey will love this episode.
Yes, Corey. I'm not even gonna comment on this. That's why there's a mask in here, actually.
You just derailed me. So for those of y'all that know Big C, he loves Darien's mom. So we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
The only female that we've ever known him to love, too, which is weird.
Yep. Mostly it's males.
Mostly it's just definitely males. Definitely males. So you were saying a tornado narrowly missed you guys, and Johnny McCombs karate chopped it.
Johnny stopped it. It you know Wesley's booby trap?
Yes.
It messed up that area of the country.
For real? Like it was on the ground?
Yeah, it messed up a couple buildings. It wasn't bad. I don't think it.
Did the booby trap survive is all I need to know.
Booby trap survived.
Okay, well, Brad Knight's got the best booby trap story of all time. I need to get him to tell it on Low Budget Live sometime. I think you've heard that.
Yeah.
The booby trap is a gentleman's establishment where they give you pieces of wood to bang on the stage to tell the ladies that they're doing a good job. From what I've heard, I've never been there.
Yeah.
I don't frequent the booby trap, but I know where it's at. What's Wesley's last name?
I always have thought it's Wesley Strader's booby trap.
No, Red ain't allowing that. We know that. All right, so you are killing it on YouTube.
I'm trying.
You're killing it in the friendship game because you're one of my best friends, but you're killing it on YouTube. You did a live last night, and there were several people on there. You were drinking. I was in the comments. It was really fun. It was fun.
So much fun. Yeah, it was my first. It was my first ever live, and it was a lot of fun. I got really drunk towards the end. The first 3 quarters of it went flawless. The last quarter was just. It was pretty much a train wreck, but we had a lot of people on. It was a lot of fun, and
I think I'm amazed just because you and I know each other really well. Dude, people sincerely, they ask a lot of questions. They want to know more about you, and I get it when I do lives like you're like me. We appreciate that. Yeah, like that's really cool, man, because we take it for granted that people give 2 craps about what we're doing, honestly.
Yeah, and I just think it's cool, like, I mean, we both have small followings or channels, and to be able to still connect with everybody's cool. Like, I know you kind of, I don't say you grow out of that, but it gets to be a point where it's so big that you can't respond to every single comment.
Oh, yeah.
I watch, when there's 50,000 people watching or 5,000, 10,000 people watching, you just can't keep up with all of it. So it's cool to be able to interact with every single person still, which is cool.
Well, when I got on Lunkers, Rob went live the other night, and I watched it for a little bit, and the comments are going like a machine gun.
Never stop.
And it's awesome that many people are on there, but at the same time, it's really hard to keep up with. And you know how my EDD works. I can't do it when there's 40 people in there, let alone 4,000.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Yeah.
Who's that in the background?
That's Hannah in the background.
That's Hannah?
No, she's asking where Coco's food is. Guys, just hang on 1 second. We're this is low budget.
We got to find Coco's food. Coco's Darien's dog. If y'all follow Darienisfishin on YouTube, you definitely know who Coco is. Coco is always in the boat these days. And Coco took a 6 cents lipless to the face earlier this year. That happened. Darien got in severe trouble over that as well.
Yeah.
The lipless to the quake to the face. If you're not following Darien on Instagram, you missed that whole thing. It was a disaster. It was a disaster. Are y'all spending the night down there tonight to stay safe? Because I think there's some more storms.
We're just gonna risk it.
Just gonna send it back on to Gunnersville.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah. I don't want to make a bad weather joke because there's people who would be sensitive to that, and I know weather's serious, but we're probably just gonna sleep this one out. Hope that we wake up.
Yeah, night tornadoes are the scariest too for me. Oh, they're terrifying. That's when that's obviously when the injuries or death tolls go up just because you can't get out. I saw one today in like Laurel, Mississippi, where we broke down. Did you see that, dude? On Twitter, on the radar. I mean, they were calling it an F5 on radar. And you could watch the thing, and Jim Cantori from the Weather Channel, I'm a weather geek. Sometimes it's like all fishermen. We like to think we're meteorologists. But, dude, it was like this big on the radar. And he was saying like it was one of the most catastrophic things he'd ever seen on radar. And I'm like, if you're in that town and you read that tweet, that ain't good. Like, what are you going to do? You're going to get the heck out of there. But, it's like I've been Googling trying to see, but it was headed to Laurel, and it had been on the ground for a long time. And I was like, I hope it don't go to that body shop rent-a-car place that we went to down there that time.
Yeah.
Stans or whatever it was called. I don't even remember. That dude sold us that ratchet Suburban for $800 a day or whatever it was. All right, so I got a couple questions or discussions, topics I want to talk about with you on here. So I even got notes, yeah. Do you think so? What's the over/under on tournaments coming back? When do you think? I ask everybody this now because it's all just a crapshoot. But
yeah, I'm not going to say what I think because I'm not in the loop with the pros as much as you are. But I do have something I think would be really cool. I think it would be the coolest thing ever if they go ahead and cancel all of them till say there's going to be no spring, summer season, just go ahead and end that, but make it a fall season and stack the tournaments fall into winter and then roll straight into 2021. I think it would mess guys up with their boats. I know it's a weird situation.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
It would put things close together. It might not be able to work, but it would be cool to have a fall /
Oh, dude, you know me. See, I wish I was fishing the tour if they fish in the fall. Yeah. That's my deal. But when I was a kid, when I was a young man, the Bassmaster Top 100s, dude, they started in August or September and ended the next year. Dude, your Angler of the Year was he had to catch them in the fall, in the winter, in the early pre-spawn and stuff. I mean, and then it was awesome. And
that's cool.
I would love that from a fan standpoint. Holy crap. Watching that would be insane. But so there's a rumor out there, and Cody Meyer talked about it a little bit on here last week. But in particular with Major League Fishing, they have TV dates they have to hit. So if you're going to be on Discovery Channel in blah, blah, blah quarter, you've got to have your crap in by May or whatever. So if they miss those dates, they may not have tournaments because they've got a television show. And I'm hearing that more and more this week that if this prolongs too far, they may not have any. They may have some tournaments, but definitely not make them all up. I I'm hearing some other stuff too that I won't talk about just because it's kind of rumor. But if it happens, it's going to be a lot to talk about.
Have you heard the rumor about Dick's buying Bass Pro Shops?
No.
That's what I said too.
I wouldn't. I don't know. Huh?
But I wanted to be the first person to bring it up on Low Budget Live. That way, it becomes
I would
something.
more believe that the Googans were going to buy Dick's. Like if you said, "Hey man, Peric and Rob bought Dick's," I'd be like, "Okay."
Seems legit.
I mean, dude, they hit 500,000 followers on their Instagram this week. I saw Rob post, and I don't know if you saw this, Deion Sanders. Did you see that? Yeah, that was cool. That was cool. Very cool. No, I would come here believing that and not Dick's buying. Now they might be buying like some of the store because I know they're closing some stores and some things are going down. They're closing some of those Cabela stores, so they could be buying locations. Who knows? Yeah. But that would take some pocket change, I would think, to buy Bass Pro. And listen, I don't know Dick. I don't know him. I don't know what he's shooting with. He may have a bigger 401k than Johnny Moore's. I don't know. I don't know. So you're saying you don't know when tournaments are coming back. You don't have any inside info.
I have no inside info, but I do think it'd be really cool. I vote for the fall/early winter. That'd be cool.
But I do think logistically we're running into a nightmare the longer this prolongs, and you got Bassmaster Elites, you got Toyota Series, you got FLW Tackle Warehouse Pro Circuits, you got BFLs, you got
every single tournament trail across the country.
All of them. ABTs, whatever. But you got all these are going to have to be rescheduled. Dude, it's going to be it's a cluster anyways trying to get them all in the year, and they do a pretty good job.
Yeah.
But man, it's going to be a mess.
Well, like just even regionally, like the Alabama Bass Trail. So the ABT puts her schedule out first. Like she does her schedule so early, and then the BFL kind of works around that.
And they work with her a lot.
And they kind of work together with the Fishers of Men doesn't go on top. Well, now if they're forcing it into the end of the year, everyone's going to be on top of everybody.
It just is what it is at that point, right? I mean, that's the thing.
So for the Alabama Bass Trail, I mean, obviously, who knows what's going to happen, but like and it's every tournament trail, but like we pay all of our money for the whole season in the very beginning. You can't pay for each individual tournament, and obviously it's a lower amount of money. But the guys who you forked out $1,200 in the beginning of the year, that's a weird thing if you don't get to fish for it, and it sucks. Like what sucks about it, and it's selfish to say this, but everyone thinks it is like obviously we're thankful that we're in good health. But I signed up to, like, for me personally, I signed up for the Alabama Bass Trail because the schedule that I was looking at was a bomb schedule.
No doubt.
And there were a couple tournaments back to back that were really good in prime season. And now they're moving it back to like for one of the tournaments was April 9th at Neely Henry, which is like the best day of the year.
Yeah.
And that got turned to like July the 25th.
And you're like, ugh.
And you might not get a bite.
That's right.
Like,
that's right.
I honestly would not have signed up. And now I probably would have, but
I see what you're saying. We all see a schedule on a piece of paper, and you go, "Ooh, they're going to bite a square bill there. Ooh, they're going to bite and even though that may not happen, right? Because we've all been. It never does work out that way. But for your mental state, you're like, I know what I'm going to catch them on when we go to Neely. We gonna catch them. That kind of deal. But so you saying that about the money leads me to my next question: how will this affect pro fishing? This is a two-parter. How will it affect the pros and how will it affect the organizations? I think I know what you'll say because it's probably about what I'll say, but how will this overall, if it keeps going to the middle of the year, how will this affect pros and the tournaments?
I haven't honestly. I think when you're doing this show, you think a little bit bigger picture than I think. But I think just my gut answer to that is there's a lot of pros. I think in every pro sport, obviously the top of the roster makes a lot of money. The bottom of the roster doesn't make a lot of money. And actually, there was an NBA player last week. It was I forget who it was, but an NBA player says that 1/3 of the NBA lives paycheck to paycheck.
Oh, yeah.
And so, which is crazy because they got huge contracts. But I think that talking about fishing. It's the same. Like these guys who are relying on these checks this year. I'm thinking of some Elite Series guys who They've only been fishing for 2 or 3 years since that weird transition. They put all their money in retirement, all their money in this and that, all to come to the elites. And they have to make checks. And they are good enough fishermen to make those checks. And they're betting on themselves. Now they can't have that opportunity. They're losing, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 plus what they got in it. And there's a bunch of stuff that's going to change. And then, so a company a lot of these guys have small sponsors who, will say, we'll give you $15,000 or $20,000 for the year, because they're betting that guy's going to win, catch fishing tournament, sell them a bunch of product, and then put that company on the map. So now a company forked out 20 grand, whatever it is, to a guy, and then he didn't get to fish. They've already paid him the money, whatever the awkward situation is, and now that company didn't get any sales off of it, so that guy's going to lose that sponsor for next year. So it's just crazy. I'm thinking on the big picture that it's just going to be crazy.
I agree with you. Here's what's going to happen, and I'll say it right here. There are going to be guys, and this is awful, because everybody, but everybody's affected. And the regular 7 to 5 working guy that's listening to us right now goes, oh, boo-hoo, I'm having to draw unemployment. Because listen, there are 10 million people. This is crazy. But there will be pros, and there will be companies. I said this before you came on. This will define a lot of companies, how they handle this, whether it be with their employees, with their marketing budgets, whatever. There will be pros that get cut mid-year this year, that companies find a way to get out of their contracts because of the economy, or because they're using the economy as an excuse, or whatever. That will happen. That will happen. There's going to be a lot of, in my opinion, there'll be a lot of people that are come out of this hurting in our world.
Yeah, and the thing that people don't understand is, or I don't think the majority of the fans understand, is the lack of money that these pros, some of these pros, majority of the pros actually, are making.
It's tough,
so when
man.
When they get cut from a couple sponsors, it's a huge
It's a big deal.
Our industry doesn't have enough money flowing around. You're selling a pack of $4.99 worms, and so the guy. I'm not going to get into that tangent of sponsorship, but it's a big deal for these guys, and it's going to happen. They're not selling worms. We can't pay Tommy to go fish the tournament trail, whatever, and it's going to suck. Those guys, I don't think are going to be able to afford to fish, and if they do, it's literally going to be getting every single penny they have to fish 2021, and that's just going to be a bad deal.
And I wonder, if we're not able to complete the season, if the Elite Series, because they had to cancel Chick, then they can't. And they had the COVID thing. They had to cancel it the second time. I feel terrible for Bass in this situation, because it was like, I feel like the Classic was 6 months ago now. And I've said that on here too, but poor Hank Cherry, he's not getting his victory lap because there's nothing, can't even leave the house, Yep. So I wonder if these tournament trails will let them roll over their entry fees into next year if they want. There's just, but then you don't have that money to pay your mortgage.
Yeah.
What's going to happen? But the tournament trails are going to face the same thing with sponsors. Going to be sponsors looking at them contracts going, well, you guys didn't have this amount of events, and I haven't seen this. And there will be people that drop some of these tournament trails. And I've already heard rumor of some big companies that are looking at that.
You said it earlier too, and it's our sport is such a gentleman's sport per se.
For the most part,
Bunch of good old boys, so you hang on to some of these people that you sponsor or that company sponsor. You hang into them just because you've been sponsoring them forever or they're buddies. There's going to be some people and some companies use this opportunity as man, I hate to tell you this, but we just can't do it anymore.
Oh yeah.
But low key, that person's been on the radar for a couple.
They've been on the bottom of that list in red for the last 3 years on that Excel spreadsheet. And the same thing goes for employees too.
But I think the most important thing for obviously, I don't remember who it was that was saying this, but most important thing, obviously, for the viewers, if you're, obviously you have to get by right now. Everyone doesn't know what the money's going to be. We don't know. We got to put food on the table before we worry about fishing stuff. But our industry is really small. So if there is an opportunity, maybe it is wait till all this stuff's over, but go buy some tackle up once it's over, because it's going to be a huge deal. And I'm not just talking about from mine and Luke's sponsor stuff. Just go spend the money. It's whoever it is. If it's a tackle store or a tackle warehouse, whatever it is, just buy some tackle, because a little bit of change quickly is going to make a big deal for our industry, just because how small the money is. So you can quickly impact our industry just by.
I think a lot of people are fishing right now, though. I do. And now whether that equates to they're buying tackle, I feel like I talked to Shannon Wheeler, John Cruz up there at Missile Baits. Their orders are coming in pretty good. Casey at 6 cents, they're selling stuff. You know, we see it at TH Marine online through our website. People are buying boat parts. They're fixing up their boats right now. So our industry is resilient. Now, are people running out and buying $80,000 boats? Probably not. Probably not. Well, actually, I can say definitely not. They're not. That has ended for the time being, and I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all, you know, for that. Yeah. But no, that's a good point, man. Is don't be so scared that you don't enjoy things, and don't be so worried that. I mean, instead of spending $200 on Tackle Warehouse, drop it to $50, whatever. But still support, you know, support the industry, and still, you know, get out there and get on the water. All right. Speaking of, I told you earlier I was going to do this, and this is going to be fun. I'm glad that you're here for this. So last week, drum roll, I did the top 10 crankbaits of all time for me. So this is a Luke list. This isn't like a Bassmaster.com. This isn't a Wired to Fish. This is me, for me, and stories behind it. And I had fun. And people in the comments, it was a good time. Sure. So got a lot of Instagram messages like, "Oh man, Bandit 200, yeah, I caught one." It was fun for the week. Yeah. And a lot of people were like, "Hey, yeah, do another one on this. Do another." So tonight, and this one is near and dear to my heart because you know how much I like soft plastics. So this one's kind of broad. I just did my top 10 favorite like plastic shapes of all time, or baits that I've had the most success on in my life, and then I want your spin-offs of this and what have you. And I got them ranked here. Okay? All right. So here we go. I'm going to start, and this is Darien and I both just started fishing these this year, and that's the 6 cents plastics. And we like them a lot. We're just getting to know them, though, right? I mean, you know, it's fair to say. But my first one in the top 10, and only because I use this technique a lot, Darien will tell you this, and I've been sight fishing a lot, and this is something I've been using, and I have caught a lot of them on this thing lately, and that is the 6 cents, the Ned Fry. And when this thing came out, I was like, when I saw it, I'll be honest. Because I'm a big Ned rig guy. I like to Ned rig. Y'all know I like my spinning rods. But the Ned Fry, I like to cut a little bit of it off right there, Darien. But that is in. I'll put it in my top 10. I like the tapered tail. They're pretty durable. They hold up pretty good.
Dude, I'm going to interrupt really quickly. Just as a plug for this video is going live on Monday.
This will be tomorrow. Yeah.
So tomorrow, when y'all are watching this tomorrow, I have a video that from Luke telling me about catching fish on this bait, bed fishing. My video goes live on Tuesday.
Okay, that was not set up at all. I promise it wasn't.
It wasn't.
I don't even subscribe to his channel. So you caught some on a Ned Fry on your video tomorrow. Yeah, I've got some videos coming with it. And speaking of, just real quick, just a little side note, we're doing Quarantine Catch Fest. # Quarantine Catch Fest. Send us your biggest bass. Darien and I are competing in this best 5 for April. Yeah. I'm up to 21.12 pounds. 3 of the 5 came on this thing right now. Caught me an old biggin on a glide bait. But Darien, what are your 5 up to? Just a little sidebar during the top 10.
I'm keeping a secret from you.
That sucks.
Okay, I'll tell you. Honestly, so I've caught several.
That you haven't weighed.
I didn't weigh them, dude. I get caught up in.
I know.
But they weren't big. I did catch a 4-pounder that I threw back, which I was really mad about. But the biggest one I got is 477, and then I weighed another one that was 3 pounds even. So I only got 2 fish right now.
All right. So I only had 4 forever, and because I've been taking the boys, letting them catch some off the bed. Yeah. And the other day I snatched me a 240, and I was like, I'm weighing it. I got to have 5.
I'm at that point too.
I caught it yesterday, though, with an almost 6-pounder, and I was like, feels good, man. Dude, I've had so much fun with this so far.
This is a lot of fun.
Oh, it's fun. And unfortunately, you're like me. We film a couple weeks before we post stuff sometimes because we got a lot of content. And I'm going to do my best 5. I'm going to put them together in a video to hopefully not this week, but next week. And then, but then we're getting closer to the end of April. But make sure you're sending us and tagging us. I hadn't seen any in the last few days. It was hot and heavy. We've got like a 9-pounder leading it, which is awesome. An 8. I've seen a 7, some 6s. We've got a big 5-pound smallmouth, the biggest one we've seen so far, and a 3-something spotted bass. So make sure you're sending those in. We're going to give away big prizes. All right, back to the top 10. Sorry, side note. I just had to take a jab at Darien because, I mean, my tournament career was not that great, but I mean, I did catch 21 pounds over like 7 trips. It's awesome. It's fun though, dude. It's like every time I get a bite, I'm like, oh, I gotta weigh that one. It's so much fun. I swung that big one in the boat yesterday. My brother's going nuts. He's going, it's an 8-pounder. I'm like, no, it's not. He's like, it is, dude. It is. He's like jumping up and down. He's like, it's an 8. I'm like, I didn't just boat flip an 8-pounder. It's a 6-pounder. Shut up. And then it weighed like 586. But it culled a 240, and that's important to the story.
Yeah.
All right, back to the top 10. So we got Ned Fry number 1. And also, this is a shameless plug. If you want to get any 6 Sense plastics, right now they're 25% off. And that's stupid to me. I saw them make that post, but get on their website. That's pretty crazy. They got a warehouse full of stuff. So get on there and get you some, man. They just got a fresh shipment in. All right, number 9 for me. We'll see what Darien knows about this. This little joker right here, whether it's on a shaky head, a Texas rig, a Carolina rig, I've done some serious work on this thing. Little Zoom speed crawl.
Oh, dude.
That little Zoom speed crawl, and it probably deserves to be closer to like my Mount Rushmore top 5 because me and this little guy, dude, I've caught him flipping it in Florida. I mean, dude, you name it. I've caught anything from 5-pound smallmouth on it to I caught a 7 even the first day on tour ever for me, my rookie year. With about 10 minutes to go, flipping one of these on a 1/4-ounce weight Okeechobee bite, I'll never forget. But little June bug one. But Carolina rig, it's a stupid Carolina rig bait for spots. But what do you think? Number 9, speed crawl.
I like it, but I'm with you. I think that's probably number 4 to 5, 6 somewhere around there.
It's up there.
It's up there. It's but we can continue.
Okay. All right. So number 9, Zoom speed crawl, and that color right there, that's old green pumpkin purple. That one will catch. Yeah. I'm surprised one hadn't ate it out of my hand right now. And notice, y'all, if you can see right here, I'm laying these on a piece of paper. I'll tell you a real quick story on why you do that. When I was about 11, I decided it was a good idea to lay some Zoom lizards out on my bedroom dresser, and the salt and the oil ate through the top, and my mama whipped me with a belt. And that happened. Yeah. And so I'm not doing that to the low budget bar. All right, number 8. And this is another one that y'all probably laugh at me for. I don't know. That's this little joker right here. It was just revolutionary when it hit, and there's lots of variations of it now. There are lots of things that work, but the little TRD finesse from Z-Man, they shook up the game with this little thing. Yep. And I've caught, I don't know how many on it. I like the big TRD. I like a lot of the shapes they make. But that one is, I like that plastic floats, man. Spotted bass really like that right there in smallmouth. But so number 8's the little TRD. I like a lot of their stuff, but that one's a cool one. All right, number 7, you're going to laugh that it ain't on the top 5 because I know you. Yeah. I know you. All right. Here we go.
I'm ready.
You ready? Everybody know this one right here. Old monster worm, 10.5-incher. And how many bass have you caught on this thing in your life? Dude. From ponds to Gunnersville to wherever?
Infinity.
It belongs in the top 10, right?
It belongs in the top 3, but I'll let you slide.
Okay. When you see my top 3, you're going to go, this is harder than you think. Because I did this last week with crankbaits, and it's like, because you're going to make somebody mad, or because everybody's going to be like, dude, that should be number 1. I mean, arguably, this shaped plastic worm, from a culprit worm to a Zoom U-tail, whatever, has caught more bass than anything, right? Especially in red bug and June bug and whatever. But the old monster, for me in my life, we've had some times, whether it's Texas rig.
There's 2 bait. I would say there's 3 baits for me. That's in my top. That is in my top 3 of all baits. All baits, I think, as far as getting me into fishing. A Zoom Old Monster, Lucky Craft, RC.
I saw your post. That was a cool post.
Yeah, and then a Excalibur.
XR50. Okay, the knocker.
Yeah, one knocker.
Anyhow, I think we gotta say also honorable mention, and this will be some people's in their top 10, and it could be for me Berkeley Power Worm.
Yeah,
I gotta throw that out.
I was always more Zoom though.
See, I was both. Like you get me with old blue fleck power worm too, and I like that at night fishing when I was a kid. That was always. But all right, moving on, and this is the hardest list there. I was in the garage. I was like, this one's really hard. Number 6, which deserves to be in everybody's top 5 just because of the originality of it. Sweet beaver. I mean, this little joker right here has caught more, flipping fish and has had so many spinoffs, right? Honorable mentions in this category for me. You got to go Zoom Z-Hog is one I've caught a lot. I don't think you've thrown that one that much, though. You've never thrown the Z-Hog much, have you?
I throw a Z-Hog. Yeah, I throw a Z-Hog. I like the beaver. So.
I do too. But one we've been throwing this year, and I like it because it doesn't tear up as much, I don't feel like, is the little 6 cents prawn. And I've talked about it on here before, and I've got some videos with it. I got some videos coming where I catch some bedding fish on it. I actually think one in my top 5 right now on quarantine catch fish came on this off the bed, but caught a bunch on it in Florida on that trip down there with Tanner. But I like it. It's pretty durable. But you can see, though, it's just that shape, man. And whoever dreamed that, I guess Andre Moore, dreamed that shape up. I mean, it has just been, it goes through thick cover really well. But man, fish love that stupid thing. And it kind of darts and spirals when you hop it on a heavier weight, but got to go beaver. All right, top 5. You go.
Drum roll, please.
Oh, the top 5. This could be number 1 in my heart and in my spinning rod loving mind, but Robo worm, baby. You know it's coming. Okay. You knew it was coming. This 6-inch Robo worm, that's a little morning dawn right there. I mean, let me tell you something. If you don't own any of these, shame on you, first of all. But you take your number 1 Trocar drop shot hook and about a, 3/16 ounce drop shot weight, you going to get bit.
By the way, shouts out to Aaron Martins on that.
Shout out to Aaron. Cody Meyer and I talked about that on the podcast last week. The GOAT, the guru. But the reason that I like to drop shot is because of Aaron Martins for sure and reading about him in Bassmaster. But that little stupid, soft, hand-poured worm right there, it's just such a catcher, dude. When I was a co-angler in FLW, the year I fished the whole series there, your boy would just bomb her on out there in the back and flip a bail. I wouldn't care. JT Kenny, you're flipping mats. Oh, I'm just going to throw out here. Geek. At some point, you was going to drag it by one that was going to bite it, dude. I made a good bit of money that year on that little worm, and still catch a lot of fish on it. Summertime, you've done some videos on that. You throw the little Reaction Innovations flirt worm song. That's a good one. But you know what they kind of made something similar to this, and that's just so simple. So simple. All right, number 4. Old brush hog. Old brush hog. And this could be number 1 too for me. So when I get to number 1 though, y'all are gonna be like, yeah, that's number 1. But brush hog, dude, Carolina rig, flipping it. You throw a brush hog? Darien, do you throw a brush hog?
I throw it a little. I don't throw it enough as I should.
Would it be in your top 5?
Yeah.
Does your pawpaw throw a brush hog?
Pawpaw.
Your pawpaw's going to brush hog them.
He's throwing that brush hog. Yes.
It belongs in the top 5, right?
It's 100%.
Because it was the first creature bait. Every other creature bait spun off of this, and one way or the other, Jason Christie said, like that Christie critter, like he was flipping a brush hog a lot. And Yum's like, hey, man, we need to make something like that. Okay. And I catches them on that. Yep. But this thing right here, man, especially greenpunk, you die them little little, and some chartreuse, you going to get a bite.
You going to get bites.
And the baby brush hog, come on now. 6 cents if you're listening. I would love to purchase some of your plastics at 25% off. We need a creature bait. That's all I'm saying. We need something, your boy.
We need a Luke hog.
We need a old Luke hog. I am all right. The top 3, dude. I'm so excited about the next 3.
I'm excited.
You are going to agree with all 3 of these without a shadow of a doubt. I don't know where you would rank these.
There's one thing you haven't said yet that I'm wondering if you put in here or if you strategically left it out. And I'm just.
That's interesting.
It's something that you use on a spinning rod. You specifically use it on a spinning rod. There's only about one other person I've ever known to talk about this plastic in the fall of the year.
Oh, no, that didn't make the list. Y'all want to get that on the list, you better get up to about 300,000 subs. Y'all better be joining. I saw people giving Lunkers donations. Y'all better be donating to the Duncan House. Y'all want to see that? Are you talking about the
Yes.
the winder?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, no. I can make the most epic 100 fish a day videos with that ever. It'll never go on camera. No. Number three. But I'll say this to that. We're talking about a secret bait. Yes, they exist. But this one's a secret bait for me. The reason it wouldn't make this top 10 is it is so situational.
Yeah.
I would say this is stuff that I use. Like, this is stuff that every time my boat launches, these will be in the boat. Pretty much, no matter where I'm going for the most part. Number 3, trick worm.
Oh, yeah.
Trick worm. And this one, whether you're wacky rigging it, shaky heading it, Carolina rigging it, throwing old bubble gum one, throwing green. You need 2 colors. You need bubble gum to throw as a floating worm, and you need green pumpkin. And then you can throw and if you go to Florida, you need a June bug one. Or a black and blue one every now and then.
Yeah.
You put that one in. That's in the top 3, right?
Yeah.
It's got to be.
So I thought you were going to have that as number 1.
For real? No.
Yeah.
No. Trick worm goes number 3. When you see number 1, you're going to go, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So number 3, Zoom trick worm. Y'all comment below if you think I'm full of crap. But I think y'all got to agree with this. Number 2 could be my number 1 because I've got so many great memories of this bait and still make a lot of new memories with it every year. And Darien does too, for sure. Zoom Super Fluke.
Yep.
Super Fluke. That belongs, dude, that belongs on the Mount Rushmore of everything soft plastics. Put a 4-aught in there, a little old Trocar. Hey, are you a round bend guy or an EWG? Yeah. Me too. EWG for life.
Yeah, and on a bait caster, not on a spinning rod. And I also I don't like the Zoom one though. I don't like to say I don't like it. I've obviously caught a lot of fish on it, but I'm a big bite baits guy.
You do throw that thing, yeah.
I love the jerk minnow. It's heavier. It has more salt in it. So when you throw it, it kind of sinks a little bit faster. But when you jerk it, it has a lot more side crazy action. Okay. Problem with it though is so that Zoom one is kind of squared on the head a little bit. The big bite one is kind of circular on the head. And for whatever reason, the big bite one, when you get a bad fluke and it just spins.
Oh yeah, it makes me mad.
The big bite one does that more, which sucks. But I think when it works good, it does have more action because it's heavier. You can throw it a lot further. I think it skips a lot better. And you said that Michael Neal told you the exact opposite of that or something? Or he liked the Zoom one better?
Yeah, Michael does like a fluke, even though I know he throws that big bites one a lot because he's with them, but he does like a fluke in certain scenarios. But you're converting me on the bait cast deal on the floating worm and the bait. I've been doing that some this spring. I've been playing with because I'm a spinning rod guy on that stuff.
Yeah.
For me, dude, I don't know why it's such an awkward hook set though on that, and I don't know why. I think because I'm used to just kind of on a bait caster with the floating worm, and they come up and get it. Like I'm having a little trouble with it.
I can't throw a floating worm on a bait caster.
I've been playing with it the last couple of weeks. I've been messing around with it.
Touchy. It's touchy.
It is. I'm not. I don't know. I'm not dialed on it yet.
I like float worm on a spinning rod.
And y'all can comment below if you got, and you can tell me this.
And I think you have to be able to skip that floating worm. I think
I can skip it on the bait caster. I've been throwing it. I can skip it. Yeah, I can skip it on like 15 fluoro, which I like. But dude, something about the hooks when they come up and get it, dude, I'm missing a bunch. I don't know. Scott Suggs tried to get me on that years ago. He's like, you got to throw it on bait caster. And Brad Knight's like me. He's all spinning rod. You're spinning rod. Randy Howell, who taught me a lot about floating worms when I was a kid, like he's a spinning rod guy. But I'll tell you why I'm trying to get away from spinning rods because that's driving me crazy. And y'all tell me if you got a tip, drop it below because you're never too old to learn. I'm getting more freaking wind knots with my braid and a floating worm than ever before. And it don't matter if I use a swivel. It's driving me crazy. And I don't know if it's the braid. I've changed braid brands. I've tried, but there's something about when you twitch that thing, and it's the same with the fluke on a spinning rod. But when you twitch that thing, that line does not lay down on that spool good. And when you go to bomb your next cast, your line go. Dude, when we were at Smith, I was throwing I'm retying constantly, it's driving me crazy. That's when I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try it on a bait. And I've been playing with it because that is a very time-consuming thing when you get a wind knot all the time. So if y'all got a tip for that, if y'all don't, it happens, though. It happens. It's just that braid thing. So number 2, fluke. Number 1 soft plastic of all time. All time. For me. Might not be for y'all, but I'm going to bet a bunch of y'all are going to agree with me. It's the dumbest shaped thing ever. Should never been a success. I'm going to tell you a story about this thing. But number 1, the freaking Cinco, man. The Cinco. 5-inch Cinco. You can't.
I agree 100%.
I've caught more bass.
It has to be the Yamamoto.
Has to be the Yamamoto. Shout out to Yum Dingers. Shout out to the 6 cents Clout. I caught an 8 whatever off the bed on it this year. I've caught a Blue Million on it this year. But, dude, this thing, it's the way it's weighted. It's got the salt. It tears up when you catch one, and you got to get another one out of the $8.99 bag.
It tears up when you throw it.
It tears up when you throw it. Yeah. But their colors are so good. Now, I have caught a lot on Yum Dinger.
They have like 500 colors.
I mean, it's crazy. I think Gary, I don't know Gary personally. I fished with him one time at Smith as a co-owner. I drew him out, him and his little dogs. That's a story for another. I'll tell that on here sometime. It'll probably cost me ever getting a Gary Yamamoto sponsorship, but hashtag it was worth it. But I just feel like he just gets to drinking. He's like, you know what we need? Watermelon chartreuse laminate purple. And they're like, great idea.
With a red paint.
with a red head. Well, Gary, that's where the hook goes. I don't care. Make it. I mean, other companies cut these colors out. He's like, do we have a fluorescent blue? Why don't we have that yet? Why? I don't know.
We need it.
Some bitch in South California will buy it. Oh, we throw that down here on Wakahachi Lake outside of L.A. I mean.
All right, pick one color of it all time if you had to pick one color for ever.
One color for me, ever. Okay? Golly, this is juice. For me, they make a green pumpkin candy with a laminate chartreuse tail that I don't care where you're at and it's fire chartreuse, like bright. It ain't like you dyed it. That I swear on my life, whether it's water's kind of dingy to crystal clear, that is just the one. Okay. Yeah, man. And I don't know the number. You know, Yamamoto Color's got the number. I don't know the number. I just know, But, dude, for me on the Tennessee River, forever, just gold. Yeah, gold. Yeah. What's yours?
I'm a green pumpkin red guy on that one.
Green pumpkin red. Okay. Yeah.
I don't know why. I just like it.
I like green pumpkin red. You dyed chartreuse? A little chartreuse on the tip?
I have several times.
Let me tell you. So I've told you this. My Cinco story, I was 15. My dad took me to Mexico. I think I told you this. Yeah. And Lake Baccarat years ago, whatever. And we're going down through there, and we're throwing flukes around bushes. I am, dude. I'm 15. And I'm a fluke master, man. Shout out to the fluke master. I was the original fluke master. He doesn't know that, but I am. I should have had that YouTube channel. It should have been me.
Yeah.
But, because, dude, I'm throwing it in ponds, at the creek. I'm throwing it at the lake. It don't matter. I'm throwing a fluke. When we go fishing and it's warm, I'm throwing a fluke. So I'm throwing around these bushes in Mexico, and I'm not catching crap. It's the first day we're down there. And we got our guide, and he's trolling us around. And, dude, I threw it out. Hey, bro. So I got a backlash. And I'm throwing my fluke on 20 and a bait caster down there because you ain't throwing a spinning rod in Mexico. So it's falling next to a bush while I'm picking my stuff out. And I reel up, and my fluke's 8 feet from where it was. I set to it, and I catch like a 6-pounder. And he goes, Cinco. And dude, this was way before anything, dude. And I'm like, Cinco? So 15, that would have been like 99. And I said, and he gets out a pack. Dude, he's like a crack dealer. He gets out a pack of Gary and says, Gary Yamamoto. I'm like, what's that? I mean, me and my dad are laughing like, stupid. He's never been to America. He doesn't know fishing tackle. So he gives us a 6-inch Cinco. And he goes, he's like, here. He's wanting me to give him my fluke. So he takes my fluke off, puts the Cinco on. And I'm like, this dumb looking turd of a, whatever. And he goes, fish like sluggo, because he thought that was a sluggo that I was throwing. You know, that's the OG, the sluggo.
Yeah,
and so I throw it out there, and I'm twitching it. Thing catching crap. I make about 20 casts with it, nothing. Same thing happens. I blow up bird's nest, quantum energy reel. Fall next to a bush. Tong! Whack! Catch me like a 7-pounder. My dad was throwing one too at this point. I said, throw it out, let it sink. Dude, every bush. Boom!
Oh my
Dude,
God.
it was like 150 fish. Beggins. Crazy. So that night, we get back to the lodge. They've got these things in a cabinet with a padlock on it for $10 a bag. And when you get back in, every guy during the day has pulled this crack dealer deal with and everybody's in there like there's like knife fights. It looks like people are looting. Over Cinco's, dude. Over Cinco's 99. And it got to the point, you know how you can feel when a pretty good one's got it, you know?
Yeah.
It got to the point by the end of the week, dude, we're like cigarette lighter them back together because they're out. And on the last day, I'll never forget going, nah, I don't feel like it's over 5 or what. I mean, like we wouldn't jerk on them unless they're big. My dad caught like a 9 on one down there. We never caught anything bigger than that, which that's a huge fish. But we caught a lot of 5-pound. I mean, it's crazy. But we get back home and we're like, we got the juice. And we never threw them until they got popular. And then we were like, oh my gosh. I'll never forget watching a Bassmaster tournament. I think Skeet Reese was catching them on it. And I'm like, oh my God, we've been sitting on that forever. But that was 99's first experience. And I've never seen anything. I mean, it was truly like you remember when the A-Rig, like that first, it was just so magic.
Yeah,
it still is magic though, dude. They still eat it like that. So Cinco, number 1, comment below if you think Darien is right with green pumpkin red. Yeah. That old green pumpkin chartreuse is killer.
I got a 20% phone battery warning about 2 minutes.
I heard it. I heard the little song.
I just got the 10%.
All right. I kept you a lot longer than I thought I was going to, but this is fun.
So guys, I'm not at my house right now. Obviously, I'm in the fairy room with my Nana Pawpaws.
You are at Pawpaw. We should have got Pawpaw on. Forget you.
Yeah, we should have got Pawpaw on this.
Pawpaw would have been better.
I don't have my tackle in front of me, and so I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can do 10 off the top of my head just because I can't see them like you can see them. So I'm gonna do my top 5. I think that in my lifetime. So you kind of did like influential. You have to have them. Yeah,
for me, you know, because everybody's list will be different.
Yeah, I think there's different kinds of top 10s. Like, you know, my top 10 that's gonna get bites every single time, or my top 10 that means memories. Like, that I caught growing up. That's
kind of this list, but just utility. Like, I'm going to have these in the boat, even if it's like a security blanket.
Yeah. So. One bait that I'm going to say before I even say my top 5 is a Zoom Magnum finesse worm.
You do that one. I never got on that one.
Dude, I just love it. Gerald showed it to me a long time ago.
It's a catcher.
It's a dang catcher, dude. Anytime I've ever not been able to get a bite, I pick up that worm. I can promise you I'm going to get a bite on it. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Strader throws it a lot, too.
Or a 4-ounce weight. Gerald showed it to me, and I literally have been hooked on it ever since. That's definitely in my top. I would say if it was a fish catching category, it definitely has to be my top 5, possibly 3. But let's just get off into this list. I'm going to say that because of how many fish I've caught on it and how much I just love it, I am going to go with the big bite baits, jerk minnow, and I'll say the fluke, but I'm going to say the jerk minnow. I order them every year, a 200 count bag. I call Big Bite. They send 2 huge Ziploc bags.
Shout out to the Foshis.
Yeah, the Shout Foshis. Out. So a fluke style bait is definitely in there. Pearl. I pretty much only throw pearl. I'm just a pearl guy.
Yeah, there's not many other colors.
No, there's not one. There's not any other colors. Another bait in there for me, getting me into fishing and getting me where I'm at that I don't throw anymore. I bet I don't even have a pack of them anymore, which is embarrassing to say. But a Zoom green pumpkin Fat Albert grub.
Oh gosh, that's a good one too.
The double tail money. Just
the twin tail.
The twin tail.
Oh, okay. No, I thought you meant old single because I'm old single.
No. What's it called? Fat Albert twin tail.
Yeah, the Fat Albert twin tail. Yeah. Great jig trailer.
That's the jig trailer I used forever.
Okay. So you're talking jig trailer.
Yes.
Okay, you're not ever just throwing it by itself on a jig head or anything like that. I got
just
you.
just as a jig trailer. Green pumpkin. We only throw a brown jig, so just match it up with the jig.
That's right.
Let me think. Honestly, so in my fishing career, I got into the Cinco late. It wasn't as influential early for me. It was only been influential in the last 5 years. Maybe I've probably been fishing for 12-ish years, 13 years. So fishing like hardcore fishing. So Cinco for me was in the last 5, probably the first 6 or 7. I'm not going to list it there. I'm probably going to say definitely the Old Monster. Plum was our color, like 100% our color, and black was our color. And it was a bait that you could. So we fished Guntersville all the time. Where I learned how to fish is at Guntersville. So night fishing, it was like the best thing you can do, night fishing. And then obviously in the daytime, back when Guntersville had a ton of hydrilla, which
that bite.
Rest in peace.
R.I.P. Yeah.
But that was like the best way to get a bite if you've got hydrilla is that big worm. And I always thought that and I don't know this. I never was told this, but my thought on that worm is plum or anything bright like that I liked. But plum was my favorite because it contrasted so well. I just remember that gin clear
hydrilla water.
Hydrilla water.
Truly, just clear.
It just contrasts so good coming through the grass as a bright red worm. And it's like,
probably look like a bluegill to them.
Some people say the fish are. What I just think it's amazing. I just think it's a fish catcher. So that's definitely in my top 5. For me, probably influential and getting me into fishing, I'm gonna say that's in the top 3. The Fat Albert Twin Tail is probably number 2. Okay, so we've got the big bite baits. We got the Fat Albert Twin Tail. We got the big worm. We got. I'm thinking on this.
You said Mag Finesse, so you got this is your number 1.
Mag Finesse. Okay, Mag Finesse. Right. So
this is your number 1.
My number 1. God.
It's hard, dude. I'm having fun with this because it's hard. It's very hard.
So again, this is everyone's gonna have a different list. Dude, I'm leaving out some good stuff. Dude.
I know.
Man, because now I'm thinking about number 1, and I'm like, I don't know if this is. So, okay, I'm just gonna say the bait that I've caught probably the most fish in the last 3, 4, 5 years.
I know what this is.
It is going to be a mag trick worm, Zoom mag.
See, I didn't even make my list, and it should have. But it's hard.
And
mag trick worm.
If I was writing a list down on pen and paper, I would have maybe had different because you could substitute some things. You can substitute the mag trick worm. So I don't know if I would have had that exactly, but I just caught so many fish on that bait. It's the same. I mean, obviously, but for the viewers, if you haven't thrown a mag trick worm out deep, it's a great ledge fishing bait. It's one of the best ledge fishing baits because on a stand-up head, on a big stand-up head, 6 cents one makes a really good one. Buckeye makes a really good one. Throw it on a 1/2 ounce or a 3/4. You can feel every single thing on the bottom.
It's fun.
You don't hang them up too crazy much. You'll break some of them off. But the thing about that worm is when they bite it, it's one of those baits. My papa used to always say, "You're setting the hook too early. You're setting the hook too early. Let him have it because." When you get a bite on that worm, he will swim all the way to the thing and all the way back to your house.
He'll go through your damn refrigerator before he spits it out.
So y'all just hang on just a second before you set the hook.
For real?
Just give him a second because he
it's
ain't
insane, man.
Yeah. So I am gonna have. I think that's. I'm thinking as I'm talking. I'm thinking about did I speak?
It's hard.
It's hard.
Be glad you don't have a podcast.
Because in your top 10 you didn't have a Z crawl, and I know Z crawl's been introduced very soon.
And I've caught a lot of fish on it.
I know.
I made the cut on it at the Kentucky Lake a few years ago, Carolina rigging it.
I think you can, but it's like you put the speed crawl instead of and I think speed crawl deserves to be in there before the Z crawl does.
Yeah, for sure. As far as OG and like a lot of fish.
Yeah. But cool story about Z crawl too. I was with Gerald when he built the Z crawl. I think it's the coolest story. We were at Zoom and he was cutting up baits and melting them back together with a lighter. When Gerald designed the Z crawl at Zoom, it was one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
Oh,
and literally, they got it dead right almost the first try. It was the coolest thing ever. But
they're a cool company, a lot of great people, and Gerald calls it the Z crawl. So
crawl with a hard L
on the end. All right, dude, this
All
is
right,
hard.
guys, I think that's
It. That's
my
going to get
top
your
five.
juice. That's going to get your
I think
juice.
that's my top five.
I'm
Yeah,
going to do
I
a
think
jig trailer list next, and that twin tail. I'm going to do jig trailers.
There's so many great baits in our list.
Oh, I know. Well, you need to do like the next couple LBLs when all this craziness is going on. You need to do the top 10s with me. Like every Sunday night, we need to do a top 10. It'd be fun.
down.
And like I want to do, we'll figure it out. We'll talk about it during the week. But like, because it's hard, dude. Like just going down like a few hours before I record it and going, okay, grab this, and then you're like. And then when you go to rank them, I'm like, ugh. It's like the hard baits I was so conflicted. Like Jody White texted me today from FLW and goes, what? No wiggle wart? Like he was offended. And I'm like, well, really not for me. Like I don't catch a lot of fish on it. It's a great bait. Great bait. The Spro rock crawler, great bait. The 6 cents, the curve, great bait. It's not my deal. It's not my deal.
I will say one thing that I'm super excited about. This is not a shameless plug, it's dead honest, but Philip Jones now designing baits for 6 cents. Some of the plastics that 6 cents came out with in the beginning was designed by a group of people, but now Philip has got his brains in at 6 cents. I'm excited. He's got some sweet things coming. He has a fluke coming. He showed me his fluke the other day that it's done, but it's just he's got to make the tail a little bit thicker on it, but he's got a good fluke. It reminds me a lot of the Zoom. There's a big worm. You saw that. I
saw that one. That one's going to be a catcher. I was just fixing to say something. That one's.
There's a weird big worm too. You have it.
Yeah. I threw it on a bedder the other day. It looks good in the water.
It does not look good in the pack. When you're holding it in your hand, you think this is weird, but
it's going to be a catcher.
Water, it's going to be a catcher. It's true.
It's going to be a catcher. You know how I think it'll be a catcher? Throw it on like one of those big magnet heads that they're making now.
Oh,
like on a ledge, like that tail that thing's got. We'll show y'all soon. We'll get permission to show y'all these soon, hopefully. But 6 cents.
I don't even know if we can say that. I don't even know if we can say.
Did we just get fired? Hey, if we just got fired from 6 cents, go use the code LD Dunk 10, but also go get you 25% off on all plastics and send me and Darien some because we're going to need them.
Yeah.
All right, D. Y'all be safe tonight. Out. Thanks, buddy. It's good seeing you. All right, Darien is fishing is out. I'm trying to hit stop record, finalizing your call recording right there. And we got it right there. Darien is fishing. I don't know where it's at. I don't know where my video's at. All right, guys, I really appreciate it. Very much so. That was fun. I hope y'all enjoyed that. This is all just kind of shooting from the hip right now. You know, that's what we're doing. It is what it is. Not a lot going on in the pro fishing world, and I'm trying to come up with ways to keep myself entertained, keep y'all entertained. I hope y'all enjoyed these lists. That was a lot of fun, and telling stories and bringing back memories. Y'all be sure to comment below your favorite plastics and tell me what top 10 lists you want to have. I love that idea of getting Darien on here with me. But y'all have a great week. Stay safe. Be smart. Wash your hands. Hug your mama. Always hug your mama. Going to take you out with some Biloxi Blues. And on that note, my song Biloxi Blues, going to post a video Shannon Wheeler and I did last night. I sent him a clip of me playing Biloxi Blues acoustic, and he laid down some fiddle on it. Dude Let's Fish. Y'all go sub to Dude Let's Fish. And I'm going to post it up this week for y'all to enjoy. It's just fun. We're just playing around. We're going to start doing that with a few songs, but going to take y'all out with some Biloxi Blues. And I hope everybody has an awesome week. And hopefully we can get some time to do a live with y'all this week. Okay? Thank y'all for everything. Low Budget Live. Thank y'all.
I never could make it last. Spanish moss, a Civil War ghost. Well, I'm gonna leave them in the past. Any direction, Lord, I'll be fine. It don't matter, east or west. North, south, wherever the wind blows, I'm leaving those burdens at rest. This highway, it does not know my name, and I don't care. No, I don't care. Heading my way for another place, and I got 3 good tires and a spare. Just a white line gypsy getting out of Mississippi with just enough gas to